Hello everyone, it's been quite a while since I did my last video and well basically just I haven't had enough time to do this. So definitely we got 3 weeks worth of books here. So I won't talk about the older ones in detail, I'll probably just show them, but I will talk about the newer books which luckily for me, I got them all on Friday. Yeah, I got them all on Friday. Uh, so one of the reasons I've had problems with making videos on time is because sometimes the smaller shop seems to be getting their books late. So I really want to get all the books in before doing videos, but I have stuff with work that's taking my attention. So and I'm usually very tired in during the weekend, so sometimes I don't even have a little time to do the videos. But yeah, finally a little free time. I'm not tired. Well, I'm a bit tired because I just finished cleaning my room amongst other things, helping out. Um, so yeah, let's get started. So first off, Superman and Wonder Woman number 19. I was actually very disappointed with this issue because it's the Suicide Squad versus the versus Superman and Wonder Woman, and I just felt most of the issue actually um, is the fight. Very little is done to progress the story. Well, at first, things started happening right at the end. Uh, but yeah, I just felt that the fight between the Suicide Squad and Superman Wonder Woman, but wait, is a great. I really like the cover. Was just a little too long. Uh, a lot of big panels, and it just felt like the fight ended too soon. Uh, I mean, Superman is not that powerful anymore. He was able to, with the help of Wonder Woman, defeat the squad almost. But it just did feel like the fight ended just way too soon. For it to have taken a large chunk of the issue. Uh, there seems to be someone behind all of Superman's problems. It was made very clear last issue. Certain things are happening around Superman that um, does mean that there's someone involved. That this is like a whole conspiracy against Superman. And actually, the issue ends with Superman going to the White House and confronting the President of the United States, which is totally unexpected. It's never been done before that I know, except when maybe Luthor was president. Usually, there was distrust between the government and Superman. This sort of changes that, which I think is great because since the Silver Age just seemed like Superman was working with the system, and that's something that Frank Miller really sort of pointed out in The Dark Knight Returns, sort of like Superman being the government stooge. Here, the whole thing has changed, so I like that. Next up, Black Canary number 2. I'm really enjoying. I really like this issue. The art, the art not the art, like I said last in my last review a month ago, is unique, but it it sort of gives the book a special look, a character as well. It not just tells the story, it sort of adds something more to that. Uh, that it's just outstanding. It's a really great book. I really enjoyed everything. It's just very well done. It has a very specific design to it. There is design. It's not just pages telling stories or telling the story, but it has it's a very well thought out book. That's probably the best way to describe it. Ah, Justice League number 42. This is supposed to be a very big issue. Um, I mean, it is. Geoff Johns is just bringing his A game back to the Justice League. It's a big like event. It really does feel like an event book because things are happening and it's affecting the characters. The big draw here is supposedly we learn the Joker's identity. We really don't. Batman does. Uh, there might be indications that a certain character from Batman's past became the Joker. I don't know. I mean, the way it's done, it's not made very clear. So there is a mention of a certain character, and then uh, Batman basically after Wonder Woman takes Metron out of the Mobius chair to avoid it from disappearing to the boom tube. Uh, Batman jumps into the chair, uh, and the chair, of course, gets into his head, and suddenly we get, Batman as a god or a new god. So that's pretty big, and so things are happening that will affect all of our heroes. Like in the cover shows, it's a very Wonder Woman centric thing. Wonder Woman's like in the middle of it throughout the issue. Uh, I like little details as well. How Jordan mentioned, Green Lantern mentions his earlier meeting with Metron during the God's Head Green Lantern story arc. So nice little nods to continuity. Finally, Rachel Rising number 35. Um, so in this issue, Rachel learns the truth about her. It's a very revealing issue, and I'm still enjoying it very, very much. It's a great book, definitely. Um, so on to the past issues. Action Comics number 42 picks up right after issue 41. Finally kind of getting what what Greg Pak is trying to say, what the Superman books are trying to say with this story arc. For one thing, like I said, it picks up right after the end of issue 41 with Superman going to fight these sort of shadow creatures while the police are marching into Clark Kent's neighborhood, and everybody trying to defend their neighborhood from the cops. There is one uh, cop that he's very trigger happy. Uh, Sort of makes me think that at least to me that guy is a bit of a coward because he tells Superman when Superman confronts him, I really don't like you. But will he say that to his face if Superman had his powers? I mean, you know, part of this reminds me a bit of the Golden Age, um, but it's sort of taken to a bit of an extreme, especially with with how the copies are being written, how this particular copy is being written. Like I said, I think he's a coward because now, Superman is powerless. So if Superman had his power, would he really um, confront Superman the way he did in this issue? I don't think so. Green Arrow number 42. I'm also enjoying this run. I was particularly taken by the art, and the coloring particularly sort of struck me as, for some reason, uh, artist a colorist Gabe Eltab, in some of the most scenes, his coloring, and you can kind of notice, seems to be somewhat lighter, almost non-existent at some point. I mean, it's colored, but it's sort of like giving the impression of some grayish tones at times. Just very. It's not as bright as most books are. This book is sort of has sort of like a melancholical feel to it, a very blue feel, very. I don't know how to describe it, but it does seem a little less light on the coloring. Sorry about that. So I'm back. Just gotta turn up the light. But yeah, I think I'm really enjoying this run so far. Green Lantern number 42. So this really picks up when right after last issue, they arrived at the planet where that sort of nobleman lives. He was kidnapped. Last issue, taken to this planet to fight. They brought his abductor with him as well, supposedly to take him to Oa, but of course Oa, to Mogo, to the Green Lantern's headquarters, but there's no Mogo and there aren't any Green Lanterns, so they decide to go to the Snowball's planet, but the planet is dead now. Everyone has been turned into stone. The trafficker gang follows them, surprises them, but suddenly they're turned into stone as well. And turns out that, well, Black Hand is back, and something weird is happening with him because he can't raise the dead anymore. He's just turning them and killing them and turning them into stone. So very interesting. Finally, from the first week of the month of Barbed Wire number 1, kind of just curious to check it out. They've been heavily promoting it for a while, so I thought I might check out this 90s revival. The coloring here is also done by Gabe Eltab and completely different from his Green Arrow work. Not more full, colorful, bright colors and whatnot. It's bright colors and whatnot. The art's by Pat Olive, written by Chris Warner. Pretty much does what every first issue should do, which is just introduces the characters, the situation, and pretty much that's it. And from last week, or first off, Batman Superman number 22. It's a good thing this came out after Action Comics because an event that happened in Action was mentioned here, so it made better sense than last issue, where another event that happened in this month's action was mentioned in issue 40, in issue 21. Um, I don't know what to think about this issue. Honestly, I like Jim Gordon, but here he acts like a big jerk. I don't know if he's acting like that in Batman. Anyone reading Batman, please tell me that how Gordon is portrayed, because here he seems so abrasive, so anti, you know, she just seems to not like Superman. I don't want to say hate him, but there's there's not sympathy toward him, even though when he realizes that they're very similar, and the situation are very similar, you expect sympathy. He sort of says, "I hate him more," or "I don't like him," or "I like him less." Um, Superman is a bit of a mixed bag. Um, at some points, he's just very rash in his actions. Then we also sort of get the more diplomatic character. This issue actually revealed who's been sort of stealing stuff from Wayne Enterprises, Wayne Tech. It was an old character. It's a character called and I'll try and tell you Ukur, the Ukur. So this guy actually first showed up in Greg Pak's first arc in Action Comics, the underground people. So the consequences of that first arc are brought into this story arc, which sort of, it seems like Batman Superman sort of dealing with some of the consequences of previous arcs. I believe the last one before Convergence had to do with the Phantom King, who they actually let free. He actually escaped during the Doom story arc. So, anyways, Superman of course knows Ukur. He tries to reason with him, calm him down. He almost made it until Gordon shoots him, and Superman is pissed off. I mean, this is like, what the hell are you doing? I wasn't distracting him. I was, you know, reasoning with him, and you just pretty much started a war. So there's this thing that, it contrasts with him saying, you're not Batman, and it's clear he's not Batman. But he isn't, at least to me, he isn't Gordon either. So I don't know. Anyone reading Batman, please tell me how he is portrayed there, or if it's not dead on. Finally, Justice League United number 11. I wasn't going to be picking up this book. I wasn't very sure of picking up this book. The cover, by the way, is by Tony Harris. I wasn't sure I was going to be picking up this book because there's no Supergirl, but the story itself sounds interesting. There's a big shift from what the book originally was supposed to be, which was more of a space adventures with a Justice League, focusing more on space adventures. That's why they had Adam Strange as part of the team. So that no longer is happening, but this arc, maybe this whole book will be dealing with sort of like weird things that maybe the Justice League normally wouldn't deal with. Of course, it's written by Jeff Parker, so that's great. The art is by Travel Foreman, which it's actually black. The art, it's a little bit odd, but I feel it fits the feel it fits the feel of the book, the of the story, that sort of weird stranger. The coloring by Jeremy Cox, though, I love this coloring. I mean, just fantastic. It looks almost like hi-fi, high definition, high def. Uh, just looks, there's some. I mean, this looks like, crystalline. Just get some really great effects out of it. Uh, the I mean, just fantastic looking art. Uh, he had some really strange effects to some stuff. The water, for example, just got some really strange effects. It gives this book a completely different look and feel to it. So yep, 21 minutes. I really went fast with this, because considering, I want to go slower, not that long. But yeah, 3 weeks worth of books. So that's what happened. So give me your thoughts if you read Justice League number 42. To give me your thought. Did we learn who the Joker was, or was it, we didn't learn anything? Um, Plus, if you want me to review some of these books more in depth, please let me know in the comments. And like always, until next time, keep smiling.